What if some of your memories, the thoughts, ideas, or even life experiences you believe are yours, were never actually yours to begin with? What if the stories playing in your mind aren't original, but something you unknowingly borrowed from someone else? This eerie phenomenon is known as cryptomnesia, a glitch in the brain where forgotten information resurfaces, but your mind tricks you into thinking it's your own memory or idea. Most of the time, our memories feel deeply personal. They shape who we are, how we see the world, and the story we tell ourselves about our lives. But what if your mind isn't as trustworthy as you think? Cryptomnesia suggests that the line between what we remember and what we've absorbed from the outside world is far thinner than we realize. The unsettling part is, you wouldn't even know it's happening. It works like this. Imagine you hear a story from someone else, maybe in a conversation, a book, or even a random comment online. Over time, you forget where you heard it, but then, months or years later, that same story pops into your mind out of nowhere, except this time, your brain convinces you it's something you experienced yourself. You genuinely believe it's your own memory because your mind has erased the original source. Now, take that idea further. What if whole pieces of your life, certain memories, ideas, or even the way you think, are things you've accidentally stolen from others without ever realizing it? What if some of your childhood memories were just stories your parents told you so many times that your brain filled in the gaps and convinced you they were your own experiences? What if that vivid idea you had for a painting or a song was something you read years ago, buried so deep in your subconscious that you mistook it for your own creativity? The scariest part is how normal this feels. The brain isn't lying to you on purpose. It's just trying to make sense of the endless flood of information you absorb every day. Your mind is constantly filtering, organizing, and stitching together fragments of reality. But somewhere in that process, the lines between what's yours and what isn't can blur without you ever noticing. In a way, cryptomnesia makes you question how much of your identity is really you. Are your ideas and opinions truly your own? Or are they just echoes of everything you've seen, heard, and forgotten along the way? If your mind can recycle memories and pass them off as original, then what happens to the concept of originality itself? Maybe no thought is ever truly original, just a constant remix of forgotten influences, playing on repeat inside different minds. It gets darker when you start to wonder if the same thing happens with emotions. What if some of your deepest feelings, love, heartbreak, fear, aren't entirely yours either? What if you're not just remembering experiences, but absorbing the emotions of others without realizing it? How many of your happiest memories might be secondhand? How many of your traumas might have been transferred to you through stories, movies, or even the pain of people around you? Cryptomnesia blurs the boundary between who you are and the world around you. It suggests that your mind isn't a locked vault of personal experiences. It's more like a sponge, soaking up fragments of other people's lives and quietly weaving them into your own story. If this is true, then how can you ever be sure which parts of yourself are real? How much of your personality is truly yours, and how much is simply borrowed without permission? Maybe your entire sense of self is just a patchwork of forgotten influences, a mixtape of secondhand thoughts, stitched together so seamlessly that you'll never know the difference. But what if that's what identity has always been? Maybe none of us are as original as we like to think. Maybe the self is nothing more than a collection of echoes, a story we're constantly writing and rewriting, without ever realizing how many voices are hidden beneath the surface. The most unsettling part? You might have already forgotten where this video came from, and one day you might remember these ideas as if they were your own. What if they've already been yours all along?